Okay, welcome everybody to Golden Drop today. We're going to talk today about an oil. Imagine that. So we're going to talk today about marjoram. No, this is not a butter substitute. This is an herb. So let's talk a little bit about what it is. It's a woody herb that is related to oregano and has historically been used widely in cooking. Marjoram is also one of the oils in the AromaTouch blend, and it can be blended on your own. You can blend it with things like basil, lemon, serenity, cypress, or rosemary. doTERRA sources marjoram from Egypt, and it is distilled from the leaf of the plant. It takes about 3.5 pounds of leaves to make a bottle of marjoram. So there you go, which is done through steam distillation, which is pretty much the way that most of the oils are processed, although not all of them. So what is it used for? It is calming and soothing. That's why it's in the AromaTouch blend, is that it acts like that. It's not a hot oil like oregano, even though it's related. It's not like that. So don't think of it like that hot of an oil, but it is woodsy. It is soothing to the skin and muscles, and has a positive effect on the nervous system. Again, the reasons that it's used in the AromaTouch blend. So what are some ways to apply it? We're going to talk about aromatically, topically, and internally, how you can apply it. A drop can be added, for example, to a spray bottle with something like lavender or serenity to spray on your pillow to help you relax, or let's say to help your kids relax before nap or bedtime. You can also rub it on the bottoms of their feet if you have kids. So that's another way to apply it, but that's topical. It can be diffused with rosemary, for example, for a focus blend. If you want to use it that way, you can diffuse it with citrus like bergamot to have an uplifting blend, which is an interesting one to try. Have you ever tried that?
No, I haven't, but that's good. And I really love the fact that you brought up the sleep stuff, because it's really good, especially applying it to the legs for restless leg, like kids who are having growing pains.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Great. You can also, in fact, on that same note, you can use it as an adult. So don't just think it's for your kids. Use it after a hard day, like if you need to relax, or if you have had a hard workout, if you've exercised hard.
Good for athletes.
Yeah,
really
it's a good
athletes.
One for that. So internally, of course, it has been used for millennia as an herb in cooking. So it is safe to take internally in the right quantities. You don't need to take a lot. It supports, again, I'm going to mention that it supports a healthy cardiovascular and immune system. So you can take a couple of drops if you want in a veggie capsule for that specific purpose to help support your cardiovascular and immune systems. And you could also add it to, like, 1 or 2 drops to something you're drinking, like tea. Like an herbal.
Can I add one to that?
Sure.
So this is really good for helping and supporting regulated blood pressure. So I have many people who will use this 5 drops in a veggie cap, and they'll take it in the morning or in the evening, and often will monitor their blood pressure to be able to support that in helping lower and calm the nervous system for blood pressure specifically.
Okay.
5 drops. And like if some people can feel their blood pressure rising and they will apply it, they will take it there. I find that it works better when they're used internally than rather just topically for that supporting the blood pressure.
Okay. All right.
This is the oil of connection, and it's really good. I love that Jason brought up what other companion oils you can use with it. There are a few more that I'd like to share with you. Cedarwood is good for this, especially on an emotional level. Neroli, geranium, and magnolia. But marjoram aids those who are unable to trust others or form meaningful relationships. And this is something I hear all the time as a life coach. I don't know how to connect with other people, and I find it hard to talk to people. And The inability to trust people often stems from harsh experiences that people have had, and we develop fears over those, and then it just becomes a protection method. Marjoram shows that the barriers that they form to protect themselves. So if you're looking to decrease those or get rid of them, this is a really good one to do. Then those in need of marjoram oil are likely to use protective coping mechanisms unintentionally. Deep down, they really do desire to have an intimate connection, but they often will subconsciously sabotage. Marjoram teaches that trust is the basis for all relationships. It assists an individual in increasing their warmth and trust in social situations. It also softens the heart, increasing a person's warmth and trust in social situations, and heals those past wounds. It kindles the fires of trust in relationships so that one may fully blossom. When an individual feels safe and loved, they express their authenticity more freely. So I really wanted to share this with you, and I'm glad that I had an opportunity to be here to be with Jason.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for being here to talk about marjoram. I hope that everyone learned something useful. It's a useful oil, and I think it gets neglected a lot because it doesn't get talked about very much.
Yeah.
So think about how you can use marjoram and use it to benefit you and your family.